number one, the easiest and quickest self-compassion technique that I can possibly teach you. And there's I think it's called, some people call it the square box. There's all kinds of names for it, where you breathe in to the count of 4 slowly, hold your breath for 4, and breathe out for 4. So we can even do it together. Go breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out for 4, 3, 4. And do that. Do it 4 times, because that's easiest to remember. I like easy and I like fast. When I found out feelings peak for 5 minutes, I wanted to lean into them so I could get through them really fast. If they were uncomfortable feelings, if they were happy and joyful and things like that, then of course I want them to last forever, but that's not reality. It's not life. So there's a lot of breathwork techniques. There's breathwork with yoga, a Mary Seiss episode. There's Shalini Yogadashi's episode. They're both amazing episodes, and they walk you through a lot of breathwork type techniques, but really focusing on your breath. If you could set a timer for 5 or 10 minutes, however long you're comfortable with, do 3 minutes. It's got to be easy, and just focus on your in breath and out breath. I'm going to do a walkthrough of this. I think I'll just do a live episode after this, and then it'll just live on YouTube. So you can just go to that anytime you want. And just, I'll do a 3 minute, a 5 minute, and a 10 minute, whatever you're comfortable with, and they'll just be there. And they're just mindfulness techniques, and they're for self-compassion and mindfulness, just so that you can feel better. And what it does, it kind of reboots your system, and it'll hit all those little points so that you have the energy to go back about your day. And I don't know if you heard the episode where I was talking about the standing meditation. When I first had to learn it, I was like, I don't want to do that, because I'd never done it, but it sounded boring as could be. And I thought, if I don't mind putting my tush on a cush and meditating, because I know that feels great. But if I'm going to stand, I want to go. I sit in front of a computer all day. I don't want to stand and meditate anyway. And it just shows my, I have all these ideas and I haven't even tried it yet. And it was only a 9-minute teaching, but I still I kept putting it off. And when I finally did it, it was the most incredible experience. And I felt great afterwards. And I was energized, and I was hyper aware of everything going on internally. And I thought, this is great. And it only took 9 minutes, and who knew? And so giving things, there were just so many lessons in that. And so giving something a chance is my message in that. It was the message to me. Anyway, so doing a short meditation can really just energize you and give you so much self-compassion. And for me, it makes me okay with what's going on around me. It doesn't make what's going on around me okay, but it makes me okay with what's happening around me. And to be centered and balanced in the midst of things that aren't that way is just such a blessing. And it doesn't mean you have to do that for, sit for an hour every morning and every night, or it can be just a few minutes. So anyway, so that's my message on that with meditation. So far it's the hand on your heart, and just give yourself compassion, give yourself that grace. And if you could name what's going on with you, whatever the feeling is, and just say, this belongs, or yes, just say yes to it. Say yes to whatever comes into your life. I'm going to the Taylor Swift movie. I have no idea what it is. And by the time you listen to this, maybe it's like the biggest sold out. It's not her concert. I don't understand, but I'm saying yes because I'm being invited to go. And I was taught, just show up. That's how life happens, by showing up. 90% of life is about showing up. So by showing up, anything can happen. By showing up for your life, it's how you get community. It's how you meet people. It's how opportunities happen. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen by my going to the movie tonight. But anyway, I was taught to say yes. So I am going. That is definitely an aside. But so number one is putting your hand on your heart, name it to claim it with your feelings, and saying, yes, this belongs. Because whatever you're feeling, it's your feelings. So again, it doesn't mean they're true, because feelings are not facts. And I can give you an example of that. A friend of mine had passed away, and I felt abandoned by my friend. She didn't abandon me. She died. But my feeling was of abandonment. And so I wasn't abandoned. That was my feeling, though. And I just said yes to it because it's my feeling. And yes, this belongs. I don't wallow in my feelings. I feel them. I feel them all the way through my body, and they leave. That's the incredible thing. When you feel your feelings all the way through, you can feel where they go. Maybe if it's anxiety or something, or fear is in my gut. I feel it in my gut, and I can feel where it goes from there, and it'll leave. And then new neural pathways are created, which is pretty cool. That's what I mean by feelings aren't facts, but they belong, they're mine. Who knows how or why they were created. It doesn't matter why, but they're there and I'm going to feel them all the way through so that it protects my health. And that's enough of a reason for me. I want to be healthy. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is the breathing. Breathe in, breathe out, which is a really good segue to number three, which is meditation, which I just talked about. It doesn't have to be a really long time, but to just concentrate on your in-breath, your out-breath. It could be mindfulness meditation, loving kindness meditation, whatever kind of meditation works for you. It can be just like I said, on your in-breath. When does your in-breath turn to an out-breath? You can focus on that. There's so many different types of meditation. You can just contact me, send me a DM or email me. If you're on our email list, just hit reply on the emails I send, the weekly emails, and I will offer up so many suggestions on meditation. And like I said, I'll put a couple of meditations up on the 52 Weeks of Hope YouTube channel. So that should help. Okay. So next, number four is journaling. When the feelings arise or you feel like you need to self-soothe, you need some self-compassion, something's coming up. Even if you want to turn, for me, it's sugar. I love sugar. I could say, oh, what's happening right now? And I could just journal. I want a cookie or I want to eat a cake because that's my thing more than ice cream. I could just write. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to have it, but I could write and see what's going on instead of breathing into the feeling. And especially if you're trying to stop, they talked about it. I listened to an entire scientific study on this, and doing all of these techniques works also if you're trying to stop vaping or smoking or alcohol, drugs. It went through a whole list of any of these. If you have a shopping problem or food, any type of addiction, it doesn't have to be an addiction. You're just trying to change a behavior. Journaling about it and just writing, oh, I want to do this right now. What's going on? What am I trying to avoid? And looking inward. And it doesn't have to be a 30-minute exercise. It can be a 2-minute exercise. A journal, you can write a couple sentences. It doesn't have to be a whole page or write 3 pages for the next 15 minutes. It doesn't have to be that. It can be whatever you need. It's more about the noticing than anything else. It's the noticing, oh, I want this right now. What's going on, and looking inward. And so journaling, freehand journaling, because when you write freehand, which nobody likes, everyone wants to use the keyboard or their phone, but freehand is straight from your heart, writing onto the paper. Pen to paper is how I was taught, and it's how you get to your own truth. Nobody's going to see it. Stick it in the shredder afterwards. And then looking for what's your superpower? What is your own superpower? What are you great at? What lights you up to do it? And what do people always say? God, you're so good at this. You should be doing this all the time. What makes you happiest? Are you doing that? If not, take a look at why not. It's so funny. When I was listening to that whole scientific study, it said that staying sober is a superpower. I was like, wow, I've been sober a really long time. I guess that's my superpower. Because I always wonder, what's my superpower? So now I know. I thought I was just staying alive by doing that and keeping other people alive while I'm at it. Now I'm like, nope, superpower. Okay. I don't know about that, but he's a scientist if he says so. And I wanted to have one anyways.